Hello guys, video 2. We are now going to do a simulated shutdown and a restart of the entire bonding system. I won't be doing it for real because it is a pain in the backside to sort out if you do shut down. For further guidance, you really sort of should be coming to me personally, so that I can run through this with you through the bonding screen, and we can do it in person. It's so much more difficult to do it virtually, but I'll give it a go. I'll basically run through with you now what you need to do in case this shit hits the fan. You've walked aboard the boat or something's happened, your batteries have died. We'll run through that now, okay? So let's go through this scenario. You've walked through the back door of the boat. You hear all kinds of alarms going off up on the wheelhouse, okay? Your first instinct is to run up and panic, okay? Like I said in the first video, don't panic. Just deal with the alarms one at a time, okay? The worst thing you can do is to run around the wheelhouse trying to cancel alarms, and then not know the reason why they've gone off, okay? Half of the reasons why, especially with the Parker system, which is behind me here, I'll go through that on another video. You need to start cancelling the alarms one at a time, but you won't be able to do some of them until, of course, you've got the bonding system back up and running. Okay, now simply is, I'll turn the camera around now because, like I said before, you don't want to see my ugly. Okay, so as we were before, we're now on the main screen where all your buttons are. Your control buttons. Now you walk aboard the boat and there's all kinds of alarms going on. You've got red bars all the way along here. You've got, not only this will be buzzing, you'll also have possibly the GMDSS will be going off. You'll have the fire panel, which is back here. I'll do a familiarization video for you, but that's the fire panel there. You know, you'll have all kinds of alarms going off. First thing you need to do, walk up here, don't panic, cancel the fire alarm. You can do that. You can mute that one. You won't be able to mute anything on the bonding system until you go into SCAMS. Obviously there's two red boxes on them SCAMS. At the moment these are all switched on. Like I said before, this is a touch screen, so all you've got to do is touch them. If any of these are off, switch them on, okay? These are all on at the moment because my system is working okay, and like I said, I don't really want to be switching any of these off, because if I do, I could create problems for myself. So your first order of the day is run upstairs, cancel your fire alarm, push the SCAMS button, okay? SCAMS, switch all your SCAMS on, make sure they're all on, okay? I'll tell you the reason why for that in a second. Go back to menu. Come on, this screen isn't as sensitive as some of the others. And you need to then go to safety, which is underneath SCAMS, okay? This is now your bonding safety system, okay? This is your fire detection, your CO2, and your bonding safety systems, which protect the bonding screens and all that. If these are all off, switch them on, okay? Switch those on, including the bonding safety. You can leave the bilge pump sockets off, unless of course you absolutely want to leave them on. I switch them off normally, okay? It's just a case of just touching the screen, it's switch on and off, okay? You can, if it's grey and you've no control over that switch, I will show you in another video how we reset that switch, okay? But other than that, once you've switched those switches back on with your SCAMS and your fire detection on your safety system, you can then go back to here and go to your power AC DC, okay? Now I can't stress this enough. We've seen this screen before in one of the other videos. If you then start, when all the alarms are going off, if you start going down into the electrical boxes either side, port and starboard, and start throwing in the batteries, which you can do manually, if you start doing that, you will not have any control on this panel at all, okay? So the best thing to do is to deal with the alarms one at a time, bring your SCAM system back up again. Obviously you're going to have the generator running first to get your power back on the board. Okay, you need to get the power back on the board before you need to do any of this. So once you've got the power on the board, these will all be grey. If you're blacked out and you've got nothing left, okay, your batteries are off, all these lines will be off, like that one is. Yeah, your starter battery will be off, your service batteries will all be off, everything will be off. Okay, once there's enough power in the batteries to sustain a start, or to get the batteries up enough for you to be able to switch them on, they will then become, they'll be greyed to start with, but then they'll come on as a normal size like this, and you'll be able to do your on and off buttons and switch them on. First ones you need to switch on, obviously your service batteries, port and starboard. Okay, get those switched on, and then you can deal with everything else. By then you should be able to silence the alarm either with the button that's down here, or obviously that button that's there. You can then start cancelling these off. That's one alarm you've cancelled. Once you've done that, you can then go off and deal with something else. You maybe want to do the GMDSS screen or something like that. That way is the quickest way that you need to be able to cancel and clear the alarm for the bonnet screen.